And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we get set for our final regular season race of our third season of the NCAA Hersheys Cup Series. That's right, folks, we're about ready to turn them loose, put them on track for 34 laps here at M&M Super Speedway, and after those 34 laps are over and the checkered flag waves, we will know officially the 16 drivers that will battle in this season's chase for the championship. Coming into this race, 13 spots are already locked up. There are 3 spots still available, and there are a number of drivers still in the running. As a matter of fact, we have a number of drivers I'll get to in a moment that with a trip to victory lane, boom, they're automatically in the chase for the championship. We'll get to that in just a minute. Drivers that are locked into the chase right now, regardless of what happens in this race: K Tellier, M Haas, T Walch, K Mathews. Those are 2-time winners. 1-time winners: Cole Baker, Emmanuel Hartnett, J Baskinger, Blaine Keys, Jessica Shelton, James Richardson, Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, and Cody Llamas. They are locked into the chase as things stand right now. Michael Norman, he's currently situated 23rd in the points, still mathematically could fall outside the top 30 in points. He's just got to get a decent enough finish here today. With his 2 wins, he'll be locked into the chase. That leaves 15th on down through 18th as far as the chase stands are concerned. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's go down and get the command to fire them up here at M&M Super Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines.
All right, so 15th seed right now, as the live chase points look, is the outside pole sitter Dallas McIntosh. McIntosh is not locked in, comes into this race 22nd in the point standings, so just basically needs to finish in the top 15, top 20. McIntosh will probably be locked in. Then we get to the nitty-gritty. Benjamin Miles comes into this race 25th overall in the point standings, has the final seed right now for the current chase for the championship, the 16th and final spot of winners this season. Now, Benjamin Miles comes into this race, according to my calculations here, a total of 27 points ahead of Sean Gallighan. Gallighan is 30th in the point standings. He needs to get himself a 28 difference of position between himself and Miles. Gallighan finishing 28 positions ahead of Miles, maybe lead a lap, that might help him out. That's what he needs to do in order to get himself into the chase. Miles currently holds the spot. You've got J Bryant also in the mix, but J Bryant actually comes into this race outside the top 30 in the point standings. So not only does he have to get back into the top 30 in the points, he's also got to pass Sean Gallighan, and he's also got to pass Benjamin Miles. However, Benjamin Miles is not out of the woods yet. Just because he currently holds that 16th seed doesn't mean he's going to have it when the checkered flag waves. Like I said, there's a lot of drivers with a trip to victory lane here today. They'd be locked into the chase for the championship. Those drivers could include Charles Sandfer, Joshua Michaels, J Arndt, pole sitter Chris Dodd, Joseph Srigley, Levi McIntyre, Nathan Hudson, Z Flickinger, as well as L Alvarise. If those drivers go to victory lane, they're automatically locked into the chase for the championship. D Poteet, Keith Batson, Dylan Young, it's possible for them, but they'd also have to finish ahead of Benjamin Miles if they win this race. I mean, those drivers are named. They could be in the chase after this checkered flag waves at M&Ms. We're not going to know who it's going to be, though, until we get racing. As Chris Dodd and Dallas McIntosh bring us down, the green flag is out. The final regular season race of Season 3. We're underway. Chris Dodd would love to be able to stay out in front, get that valuable bonus point, but keep in mind, Sean Gallighan would like to be able to get a valuable bonus point too. If Gallighan's able to lead a lap here, get a bonus point, and Miles doesn't lead a lap, then Gallighan only has to finish a total of 27 spots ahead of Benjamin Miles. Chris Dodd trying to be able to reclaim his title. He won the championship last season. He's yet to go to victory lane here this season, and it's going to victory lane that's hindered him from being able to get into the chase. If he can close the deal here today, he'd be in. Out of 4, is there 3 wide already back there? Possibly 4 wide. There are 4 wides. They all start choosing their lanes down the front straightaway. James Richardson stepping out of line on Chris Dodd, but he's not going to make the move soon enough. Lap 1 going to be led by the 88 Chevrolet. Looks like James Richardson able to keep it down there on the bottom. He might be able to get to the inside of the left rear heading here into 1. Indeed he will. Oh, the caution flag is out. Well, what was turned out to be a battle for the lead, it actually was a race apparently back to the caution. I didn't see the caution lights on, but apparently they were on. And this is when we start not wanting to look and see who got involved in incidents, because this is really a lot of times at these kind of racetracks, being a last regular season race, lot of chase implications can be in the mix. And so let's look and see who was involved. Oh, Levi McIntyre, who with a victory today would have been in the chase. He's got damage. Benjamin Miles is back here. Don't know if he was involved. Looks like some hood damage on the 93 of Z Flickinger. That's another driver that with a trip to victory lane would have been locked in the chase. There you can see the crunch on his machine. Looks like maybe some damage on Emmanuel Hartnett. Thought there might be some damage on Fitzwater, but he appears to be okay. You see skid marks from the middle of the back straightaway into the turn 3 vicinity. Is there some damage on Brandon Gonzales? Maybe not. And doesn't look like anybody's on pit road. So it looks like Flickinger and McIntyre really sustained most of the damage from this one. And there is Benjamin Miles coming in by the skin of his teeth, currently still in the chase, but he needs a good run, and looks like he may have avoided whatever this incident was. As, oh, look at this. We got some pit stops going on here, and some drivers are going to stay out. McCrury stayed out. Batson stayed out, as did Go or Go Home non-charter driver Daniel Olson. As drivers taking the opportunity here on lap number 2 going on to lap number 3 to come to pit road. So a couple of drivers rolling the dice, staying out, maybe expecting this isn't going to be our last caution. And Richardson going to beat Chris Dodd off pit lane. Dylan Poteet's going to beat Chris Dodd off pit lane as well. And the drivers that stayed out, it was McCrury, Batson, Olson, and Fitzwater. So they'll be the top 4 when we go back to green flag racing. Let's take a look and see what put us under the caution for the first time here today at M&M's Super Speedway. Alright, let's see if we can find out what exactly happened here. Oh, Benjamin Miles just kind of squeezed Levi McIntyre up into the wall. So Miles, who I thought had actually avoided the incident, actually did get a piece of that. Didn't really sustain much damage from it. And Flickinger ended up running to the back of Levi McIntyre. Just couldn't slow down in time. And Emmanuel Hartnett was up there against the wall as well. So that's how he got his front end damage. Johnny Gardner, Herger Alonso, they're both able to just barely get on the brakes in time. There's another car back there. Can't tell who that is. Up there on the high side behind Hartnett. Oh, and there's where Hartnett gets a little bit more front-end damage. Well, that was L Alvarise up there on the high side that was just barely able to get by as well. So basically 4 cars involved in this one. McIntyre, Miles, Flickinger, and Hartnett. Hartnett already locked into the chase, but both McIntyre and Flickinger were looking for a win to get them into the chase. And then, of course, Benjamin Miles, of course, the whole bunch of anticipation, maybe some nervousness around that crew's pit box. Well, they're going to be on pins and needles even worse as he got involved in this incident here. So we'll line them up, get ready to go back green, and see what we've got for a chase scenario under our first caution of the day here at M&M Super Speedway. Back to live action. Well, we haven't gotten the 1 to green signal yet. We'll more than likely get it next time by, so we'll probably go back green on lap 6 of 34. But after that incident, we have no drivers out of the race from the wreck. However, Cole Baker, who comes into this race locked into the chase, he has retired out of the race in that 18 machine. Not exactly certain what it was that put him behind the wall. We'll try and get an update on that if possible, but Cole Baker taking his car back behind the wall into the garage area. He was running at the time in the 24th position. There you can see down at the bottom of the running order, there's Levi McIntyre, Benjamin Miles, Emmanuel Hartnett. They all got their cars repaired, returned back to the racetrack, as did Z Flickinger. So everybody that was involved in the incident is still running. A couple of drivers had some extended stays on pit road, including Trent Dunham and J Jefferson, but they are also still on the lead lap. As we'll get the signal 1 lap to green, why don't we give you a full field rundown? Remember, the top 4 drivers stayed out, did not come to pit road. Anthony McCurry restarts as the leader. Keith Batson in 2nd, Daniel Olson 3rd, and Zachary Fitzwater 4th. First car that came off pit road restarting 5th is James Richardson. Chris Dodd restarts in 6th. 7th for Dylan Poteet. 8th is Sean Gallighan. 9th is J Arndt, and J Baskinger completes top 10. J Bryant in 11th. Michael Norman in 12th. K Tellier in 13th. 14th, Cody Llamas. 15th is Brandon Gonzales. Blaine Keys is 16th. 17th is Kyle Mathews. 18th, Isaac Canepa. 19th is Dylan Young. And Matt Haas will complete the top 20. 21st is Carmichael Jazin. Joseph Srigley, 22nd. 23rd, Daniel Voyles. 24th place, O'Neal Baldwin. 25th is Sergio Alonso. Joshua Michaels in 26th. 27th, Carson Scott. 28th is Charles Sandfer. 29th, Flickinger. In 30th place is going to be Joshua Ciculli. Jessica Shelton in 31st. 32nd place, Johnny Gardner. 33rd is Nathan Hudson. 34th, it's L Alvarise. A little bit of right side damage on Dallas McIntosh as he'll restart 35th. Tim Walsh in 36th. 37th is Emmanuel Hartnett. Benjamin Miles still running 38th. Trent Dunham in 39th. 40th is Levi McIntyre. 41st, J Jefferson. And as mentioned, one driver out of the race, Cole Baker, taking his car behind the wall, and he was not involved in what put us under the caution flag. So Daniel Olson is a go-or-go-home driver. He's not going to make the chase even if he wins this race. Zachary Fitzwater already has a win this season, and he's already locked into the chase regardless of what happens here today. Keith Batson, however, a win would put him into the chase for the championship as he comes into today's event, currently situated 27th in the standings, and with the bad luck that Benjamin Miles is having right now with where he's running, Batson would pass him in the point stands and get that 16th and final seed. And Anthony McCrury up there. Anthony McCrury, the Season 1 Hersheys Cup Series champion, is mathematically ineligible from getting into the chase. He's 34th rather in the point standings. He's not mathematically close enough to be able to catch Benjamin Miles in the standings, regardless of whether he won this race and Miles finished dead last. So McCrury's just trying to end off the regular season on a high note and pick up his first win of Season 3 as we're back green here on lap number 6. Also keep in mind, if this thing goes into a long green flag run and we end up having green flag pit stops, McCrury, Batson, Olson, and Fitzwater will have to pit about 2-3 laps earlier than everybody else. Right now, things looking good for Gallighan. He's not led a lap, but he is running much higher than Benjamin Miles. Gallighan last time by was scored in 8th. He needs Miles to be running 36th or worse, and Miles was running in 38th. Actually, he needs him to be running 35th or worse. 27 points are what separate Miles from Gallighan. And here's the interesting thing. If Miles and Gallighan end up finishing 27 positions separated from each other at the end of this race, comes down to a tiebreaker between those two. Both of them have one win. So then we would have to go to top 5 finishes. And as I look here real quickly, trying to keep an eye on the action as well, as Gallighan's going to try and go for the race lead. Gallighan has only one top 5. Benjamin Miles, on the other hand, has 4 top 5. So the tiebreaker would go to Benjamin Miles. Look at cars down right through the grass. Look at them all. Is that Joseph Srigley and Charles Sandfer down there? I don't know how much ground that's going to gain them. As saw Dylan Young, Michael Norman making some contact. There's Srigley, Canepa, all these drivers that were in the grass. Now they're back here, but that was crazy. And looks like Benjamin Miles picked up a number of spots after that. Oh, Lord, look at him on the front straightaway. Kermika Jazin, Joshua Michaels, as there's Miles. He was in 35th last time by. He's up to 23rd. So Benjamin Miles trying to not even have points be a problem between him and Gallighan, trying to get up there to the front of the field. Benjamin Miles has taken part in the 2 Hersheys Cup Series chases that we've had so far. He'd love to be able to make it a trifecta, 3 for 3, as K Mathews led that last lap. Look at Ciculli through the grass, Voyles through the grass. Now, in the drivers' meeting, they weren't told that that was out of bounds, so they're using it. Although I don't think there's really all that much grip down there in the grass to be able to make moves. You saw before a lot of drivers that had tried the grass area, they had actually slipped back towards the rear of the field. However, I mean, you think about it, it probably would keep the tires a little bit cooler, and maybe they would be able to stretch it a little bit longer on if they would have to make a green flag pit stop or not. Don't know, but Blaine Keys leads that lap. Keys already locked into the chase for the championship. Coming into this race, Keys was situated in the 9th seed in the chase for the championship, and the caution flag is out again. Second caution flag in the first 10 laps of this race. And looks like this time it involved Charles Sandfer. Looks like a little bit of damage on L Alvarise, his Napa Chevrolet as well. Charles Sandfer, who was a 3-time winner last season and was in the chase, got damaged. There's also some front-end damage there on Keith Batson. And I don't know if Trent Dunham was involved or if he's just slow because he's got his hood missing, and that's hurting him aerodynamically. Regardless, though, Blaine Keys leads us under this caution. More than likely, these drivers may come to pit road again, so the field may look a little shuffled up when we come back to live action. But for now, we're going to take a look and see what brought out the second caution of the day. All right, let's see what happens here to Sandfer. Oh, right there, left side of your screen. L Alvarise crowds J Bryant into the wall. Alvarise is around, and Sandfer can't go low because he's got D Voyles to his inside, and Sandfer just clobbers the 33 car. K Tellier and teammate K Batson kind of held up back here, and it looks like they got through it. So I don't know how Batson got his front end damage, but Sandfer up and into the wall. Alvarise getting the wall, and how does the 39 get his front end damage, or does he already have it? Well, he crosses the line here. Does he run to the back of his teammate here under yellow, maybe? Oh, yep, right there. Runs into the back of K Tellier. And that's how he got his front end damage. So, pretty much Charles Sandfer and Alvarise the reason for this caution flag. Is we'll get ready to go back to green. Let's see if the field has indeed shuffled up, if anybody came to pit road. We have just gotten the signal of 1 lap to green. K Llamas is now the race leader, and up to this point still the only driver out of the race is Cole Baker. We had a total, I believe, of 13 drivers stay out on this caution. Anthony McCrury was the first one off pit road, and he will restart 14th. Drivers that stayed out: K Llamas restarts as the leader. K Batson will restart 2nd. Dylan Young there in 3rd. J Baskinger 4th. Chris Dodd, the pole sitter, in 5th. 6th place is Sonio Balvin. 7th is Kyle Mathews. 8th, Dylan Poteet. 9th, Joshua Michaels. Brandon Gonzales. And 10th is Joshua Ciculli. In 12th place has blown up. Right behind 11th place, J Shelton. And Ciculli, who decided to stay out. The engine has expired on the 73. That's a tough break there for Ciculli, the Advanced Auto Parts Ford, and he'll get out of the way as Carson Scott was the last driver to stay out. He'll restart in 13th place. 14th, McCrury. 15th will be Gallighan, and then it's Blaine Keys, J Richardson, Joseph Srigley, J Arndt, and Benjamin Miles. That's your top 20. You got to let Ciculli get to pit road here. Carson Scott on the inside of Ciculli. Ciculli's got to get to the pit lane. There's no way he can still be running out there, and now he's just barely going to be able to clear Carson Scott, and he'll come to pit road. So it looks like we'll have our second retiree from this race in the form of Joshua Ciculli. He'll join Cole Baker back behind the wall in the garage area. K Llamas out in front. He's already locked into the chase, but he'd love a second win. Green flag back out. We're not even halfway through this race yet. We still got about 4 more laps till we reach halfway, but take a look here at the top 10. Some drivers that haven't won that a win would put them into the chase for the championship. Dylan Young restarting 3rd. Chris Dodd in 5th. Dylan Poteet, Joshua Michaels there in 8th and 9th. Brandon Gonzales there in 10th. He doesn't have a win yet, but he also comes into this race 33rd in the point standings. He's almost in the same situation as Anthony McCrury is. He can go to victory lane, get his first win of the season, but he's mathematically too far out of the top 30 in the point stands, as well as Benjamin Miles in the standings, to be able to have that win count for a spot in the chase for the championship. As Ford's working against K Llamas, Dylan Young pushing K Batson into the race lead. Jasmine, of course, going to be taking part in the Almond Joy Series chase for the championship. 3 wins in a row, I should say, and trying to win here in the Hersheys Cup Series race. Let's not forget that this racetrack, the history that was made here last year when we were putting together our chase field for the Season 2 Hersheys Cup Series chase, it was Tripantacchio Vernio's very first race, his debut event, and he went to victory lane. 1 race, 1 win. J Shelton, very good at these restrictor plate tracks. Her win this season coming at Daytona. That put her into the chase for the championship, and she's going to blow by K Batson. And J Shelton will go to the race lead. Joshua Michaels, he's gone 2 for 2 in seasons of having at least 1 victory. Had a win at Pocono in Season 1, a win at the season finale of Auto Club in Season 2. He'd love to be able to pick up his 3rd win in his 3rd season in that Honda Accord out of Rage Motorsports, as Shelton gets a bonus point for leading that lap. Benjamin Miles back there And he's actually going to go, I thought he was going to go side by side with Sean Gallighan. This is not what Gallighan wants to see. He does not want to see that 42 anywhere around him because Benjamin Miles right now holds that transfer spot, that 16th spot in the chase, as Miles turning it down left of the grass area, and so did J Srigley. Now keep in mind though, Benjamin Miles is not home free yet. Yes, he's within striking distance of Sean Gallighan, which allows him to still have a pretty sizable gap, points-wise, of holding onto that 16th spot in the chase. But what Benjamin Miles is hoping for now, that's part one of the plan. Part two is to have a driver go to victory lane here today that hasn't gone to victory lane yet. Because like I said, if someone like a Blaine Keys, a Nathan Hudson, Joseph Srigley, Chris Dodd, J Arndt, if they go to victory lane, Benjamin Miles, he's in the 16th seed, and he then drops to the 17th seed, and he's out of the chase for the championship. So right now, he's liking what he's seeing, a driver that's already won this season, locked into the chase, showing the way in this race in J Shelton. He does not want to see Joshua Michaels get out in front. Miles also would be able to get into the chase if a go-or-go-home driver wins this race. Basically, he just needs nobody either above him or around him in the points with no wins this season to go to victory lane, because you could also throw into that mix Heath Batson, D Poteet, Dylan Young. They are within striking distance that with a win, they could pass Benjamin Miles in the point stands, and that would move them into the 16th and final seed in the chase for the championship. As we are now halfway home, J Shelton, nobody's really been able to get to her. Contact right there between Cody Llamas and Kermika Jazin, and I think M Haas and Anthony McCrury made some contact too, as they are beating and banging on each other now. They realize we're in the second half of this race. We're in the home stretch. It's time to start making some moves. Make some aggressive moves to get yourself up to the front of the field. I also just realized if Sean Gallighan wins this race, Gallighan knocks Benjamin Miles out as well, because Sean Gallighan's inside the top 30 in the points, and that would be his second win of the season. So Miles does not want to see Gallighan go to victory lanes. There you see, there's Miles going to the inside of Gallighan, trying to keep him away from the front as best he can. Yeah, Gallighan would jump up there to what I believe would be the 6th seed in the chase for the championship if he went to victory lane for a second time here this season. Keep in mind, Sean Gallighan, very good at these restricted plate tracks. His win this season came in the Great American Race Daytona 500. And he is starting to try and work his way back to the front again. M Haas, two-time winner this season, right there in that 4th position. M Haas, who's undoubtedly going to win Rookie of the Year honors, would love to be able to enter the chase with 3 wins, which would put him solo in the number 1 seed with the chase field recalculated. Anthony McCrury right there. You got to wonder if McCrury would be willing to push his teammate Sean Gallighan to the race lead. The 3rd Seth Cole Baker Motorsports entry, Cole Baker out of this race. A couple of other two-time winners just a little ways back there. Kyle Mathews in the 09 and Tim Walsh in the 15. Tim Walsh, of course, picking up his 2nd win of the season last week. There's Dylan Young trying to fight his way up to the front there. A chase spot hangs in the balance if he can find victory lane. But right now, J Shelton still out in front. Benjamin Miles right up in this mix. So is Sean Gallighan. Gallighan maybe thinking about 3 wide for second. Whoa, he nearly took out Joshua Michaels right there, as his car kind of slid up the racetrack, and Shelton's coming to pit road, as is Michaels, Balvin. So here we go. We went into a long green flag run. This might be the final stops of the day. Chris Dodd is in. Srigley, Walsh. Whoa! What the heck? What the heck was that? The 43 just bounced into the air into Levi McIntyre. What in the world was that? And I don't think it brought out a caution. Did it? No, we're still green. But that was the strangest thing I've ever seen. And Benjamin Miles just led a lap. Miles just led a lap. That's a big-time bonus point for the 42. But Canepa and McIntyre just had some kind of a warp incident take place on pit road, but it didn't bring out the yellow flag, and now Gallighan is all over the back bumper of Benjamin Miles. And I'm pretty certain that a number of those drivers that came to pit road were drivers that had been on pit road under the last caution. Chris Dodd's just now leaving pit road, and caution now is out. Now the yellow flag is waving. And this is going to hurt those drivers that came to pit lane just moments ago. Benjamin Miles, whoa, look out, Flickinger up the middle. Miles is going to be the race leader, but undoubtedly these drivers are going to have to come to pit road, but that trapped a number of drivers a lap down, I believe. K Tellier, I think, got trapped a lap down. Chris Dodd might have, I don't know. So, let's see, Chris Dodd is going to move by the race leaders. No, he's stuck behind the pace car. So he'll probably be on the tail end of the lead lap when we go back green. But Benjamin Miles, what a time to be out in front. And look who's right behind him, Sean Gallighan. These drivers will probably be coming to pit road, though. Let's take a look and see what puts under the caution. But first, we're going to look back. We're going to try and find out what happened to Cole Baker to put him out of the race. Then we're going to take a look at that incident on pit road. And then we'll finally find out what brought this yellow flag out. This was coming off pit road back on lap number 3. Under the first round of pit stops, under our first caution, Cole Baker at the time was running in the 8th position, and watch right here, as he's coming out, Dallas McIntosh is coming in, and he just cuts right across. McIntosh wasn't even in the transfer lane. Car actually gets airborne, and then it goes flying up and into the pit wall. That might have actually been what happened to Levi McIntyre and Isaac Canepa. Actually, when we look at that, that might almost be some deja vu, and that is what gave Baker a lot of front-end damage. And then he just brought the car to pit road the next time by and put it in the garage. Boy. Pit road being just as treacherous as the racetrack itself is. Let's take a look now and see if that was indeed the case of that happening as well to Canepa and McIntyre during green flag pit stops. Alright, so here it is. Canepa's coming to pit lane. Levi McIntyre back behind him. Let's see what happens here. Canepa on the brakes. McIntyre really doesn't slow down all that much. Boy, he really flew it in there. Oh, and then Canepa didn't realize, he thought McIntyre was way back behind him, but that wasn't the case. And then watch this. Watch Canepa. Holy cow. Just kind of shoulder blocks Levi McIntyre into the wall. And then both of them right upside down, right in front of O'Neal Baldwin. Hershey Alonso looks in his rearview mirror, gets a good view of that as well. Man, I mean, McIntyre came flying in there, and I'm certain Canepa did not expect McIntyre to be in that transfer lane. I mean, McIntyre smoked him coming to pit road. And that is what happened to McIntyre and Canepa. Now let's see what actually brought the caution flag out. No need, we're back to live action. The caution actually did come out for that incident on pit road. I was actually surprised. I thought there was actually going to be no caution, and then thinking, why would there be no caution for that? They did actually throw the yellow flag for that incident on pit road. So, that is what kind of threw the monkey wrench in all of these cycle of green flag pit stops, and as a result, J Shelton comes out as the race leader. O'Neal Baldwin is second, Joshua Michaels third. Keep in mind, these are drivers that came to pit road under green flag conditions. The caution came out, they were still on the lead lap, and then when everybody came down to pit under caution, these drivers were able to stay out. So Shelton inherits the lead, Baldwin second, Michaels in third, Alonso is in fourth, fifth Brandon Gonzales, then it's Srigley, Hartnett, Llamas, Walsh, and Norman. That is your top 10. K Tellier is 36th, last car on the lead lap, and she will restart ahead of the race leaders. After that incident on pit road, though, we have obviously Levi McIntyre out of the race. Daniel Olson has actually retired from this race as well. Gearbox issue for him. We also saw the 73 of J Ciculli blow up. He's out of the race, joining Cole Baker as well. Isaac Canepa, I don't know if he's returned back to the racetrack or not, but he's spent a number of laps on pit lane. He scored 2 laps down. Trent Dunham is 1 lap down to the race leaders. So we have 36 drivers still on the lead laps. As a matter of fact, Michael Norman was on pit road, looks like, and he just dropped down to 35th. So that now moves Dylan Poteet up into the top 10. Let's look down through 11th on down. We'll give you a full field rundown via your ticker. Carson Scott, 11th. Chris Dodd in 12th. 13th, J Bryant. And then Benjamin Miles, Sean Gallighan, right in close proximity again. 14th and 15th for this restart. Jazin, Anthony McCrury, J Arndt, J Jefferson, and L Alvarise. That is your top 20. Matt Haas back in 21st now with Daniel Voyles 22nd. Johnny Gardner 23rd, 24th. James Richardson, Blaine Keys 25th. Dylan Young 26th. 27th for K Mathews. 28th is Fitzwater, McIntosh, and 29th. And 30th is K Batson. The rest of the cars still on the lead lap. J Baskinger 31st. Z Flickinger 32nd. Nathan Hudson 33rd. Charles Sandfer 34th. Michael Norman 35th. And you see the 35 of K Tellier 36th on the grid. Last car on the lead lap, restarting just ahead of the leaders. Reason that there's no drivers on the inside line since we have lapped cars is because when we hit the line, there will be 10 laps to go. So since we're at the 10 laps to go mark, it will be a single file restart, which, to be honest, is quite a blessing. But Jessica Shelton, could her coming to pit road just before that caution flag came out, could that be the ticket that gets her second win of the season and puts her in a tie for first place with the reformatted chase standings starting next week? About to find out. 10 laps to go. Green flag back out here at M&Ms Super Speedway. And they're going to start fanning out. Baldwin dives low. Michaels dives even lower. Can they get to the inside of Shelton here into one? Yes, they can. K Tellier playing some spoiler here at the front of the field as Michaels goes to the lead. Gonzales moves to second. Here comes Joseph Srigley as well on that inside line. Chris Dodd coming back up towards the front of the field as well, trying to go coast to coast after starting on the pole. 3 wide at the front of the field, 4 wide behind them for second down the straightaway. And Michaels to the inside of Baldwin. Honda Accord versus Chevy SS. Give the spot to the Honda Accord off of 4, but can he clear Baldwin before they get to the stripe? No, outside line begins to get a run now. At the line, give it to Baldwin by a splitter. Chris Dodd now down to the bottom of the racetrack. The pole sitter trying to get himself into his second straight chase for the championship to try and get his second straight championship in the Hersheys Cup Series. Here comes Walsh. Here comes Gallighan, and he's got Anthony McCrury, a teammate, pushing him up to the front. They're using every bit of racetrack back there. Look at McCrury getting a bump there from J Bryant. Got him a little squirrely there as Chris Dodd shows the way. Tim Walsh trying to go back-to-back wins, trying to pick up his 3rd win of the season. Oh, look out, slow car there on the inside line. That was Isaac Canepa. Are we under caution? We are not under caution. Canepa just coming to pit road again, I guess. Oh no, Canepa's stuck. Canepa is stuck. If he can't get the car rolling, they'd have to throw a yellow. No yellow yet. Canepa is sitting idle on the pit lane, or on the racetrack. And I think the yellow might be out. I think they may have had to throw the caution. No, they didn't. Canepa got back to pit road. He teleported back to pit road. I thought the pace car was missing. I thought we were under yellow. We are not. And Tim Walsh, with help from O'Neal Baldwin, he's going to shoot to the race lead. Baldwin trying to get to the inside. He will. Here comes Dylan Poteet. Where'd the 31 come from? If Poteet wins, he's in the chase. And he's going to try slingshotting down to the bottom. Maybe try and slingshot inside 3 wide into 1. McCrury, though, dives it down way down to the inside. That's going to be the battle for second as Baldwin will clear for the lead. Carson Scott right there. What if Carson Scott in his final season in the Hersheys Cup Series could make the chase? He could do it if he wins. Down there in the grass, still trying to get everything they can. K Jazin was down there. Looked like Johnny Gardner, K Tellier, as Baldwin showing the way here. O'Neal Baldwin trying to pick up his first win of his career. Here at M&Ms Super Speedway, Matt Haas now moves by Anthony McCrury for second place. The laps ticking down, this time by 6 laps to go. Matt Haas, the rookie, trying to pick up his 3rd win of the season. Blaine Keys is now getting up into the mix here. Look at him moving around there. Whoa, Sean Gallighan nearly just about wrecked Chris Dodd. As Balvin shows the way. Battle may be on for second. Matt Haas has it. Chris Dodd wants it. Make that Blaine Keys rather. Chris Dodd there in the mix, though, however. As into 3 they go. Right now, Balvin in confirmed control of the race lead, but Matt Haas right there. Chris Dodd right there. Blaine Keys as well. Right now, for 2 of these drivers, a chase spot hangs in the balance. Chris Dodd currently in 3rd. Joseph Srigley currently in 5th. O'Neal Balvin has a total of 4 starts this season. His best finish was 29th place, I believe. Right now, he is out in front showing the way. Look at Dallas McIntosh way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Right down the grass. And now take a look here. Joseph Srigley's in 3rd, but look who's behind him. You got teammates in Kyle Mathews and Jessica Shelton working together. There's McCrury and Dylan Poteet. Poteet not out of the hunt yet. Where did Gallighan go? Gallighan really faded. Wow, he's all the way back here. Blaine Keys faded as well. And I think these drivers are good to go on fuel. They should be able to make it the rest of the way without having to pit. As Matt Haas, he's all over the back bumper of O'Neal Balvin. Will he make a move? Here comes Srigley, though. Srigley thought about going for second. Couldn't dive it into turn 1. Now gets the inside here into turn 2. But will he get the run off the corner? Kyle Mathews is pushing him. Can they get enough speed down the straightaway here? Poteet's down there to help now. It's a big frenzy down the low line with Srigley, Mathews, and Poteet. They might be able to make it work. And now Poteet sticks Mathews in the middle 3 wide. Balvin still showing the way right now, being able to control the draft. If Balvin wins this race, Benjamin Miles is into the chase for the championship, I do believe. Miles, last time by, was scored 18th, 4 positions behind Gallighan. The drivers that Miles does not want to go to victory lane right now. That 24, that 31, the 38, 16. He does not want them to find victory lane here in the closing stages. Less than 3 to go. McIntosh. Voyles down into the grass. Balvin still showing the way. Matt Haas trying to close the gap up. He might be able to close it up here into 3. He may actually be able to dive to the inside here going out of 4. Look out, slow car. Canepa holds up the inside line. And Balvin's going to break away. 2 laps to go. That's not normally a good thing. But with as little laps left as there is, that might be a good thing. Johnny Gardner just shot into 2nd. And now we're going to have to see if these guys can have enough time to run O'Neal Balvin back down. About 1 3/4 laps left remaining. Balvin, with the help of Isaac Canepa, he might have just had that seal the deal for him to pick up the win. Look at him back there, though. Gardner, Haas, Poteet, all single file. Trying to reel Balvin in. They've got time and they've got speed down the straightaway. Here they come to the bottom. Everybody fighting for real estate. Balvin trying to hang on. Gardner trying to get him. Poteet down there on the inside line. Gardner's going to have a big run here into turn 1. He might be able to get to the inside of O'Neal Balvin. Will he make the move as the white flag was just displayed? Not making the move yet. Gardner gonna peek to the inside. He's there. He's to the inside, side by side between Balvin and Gardner. Where's Poteet gonna go? Who's he gonna work with? Can he get enough of a run to get to the inside and make it 3 wide? He might. He might very well. McIntosh is pushing him. Here comes McIntosh to try and go 4 wide. Into 3. Poteet to the lead. Here comes Dallas McIntosh. Poteet trying to hang on. If he wins, he gets a chase spot. If McIntosh wins, he gets his 2nd win of the season. He's already Dylan Poteet has defied the odds and has pulled off a shot clock cheese here at M&Ms. A win and a spot in the chase for the championship. And just to confirm with all this hype, just to make sure, Poteet came into this race 2 points behind Benjamin Miles. There's no doubt with Miles finishing outside the top 10 that Dylan Poteet has beaten him in the point standings, and Dylan Poteet has knocked Benjamin Miles out of the top 16. Miles will miss the chase. Gallighan will miss the chase. J Bryant will miss the chase of drivers that have wins this season. Wow. It looked like it was going to be Balvin, then it looked like it was going to be Gardner, and then from out of nowhere, Dylan Poteet gets the run. He goes 3 wide into 3, hangs on, wins the race. He's in the chase for the championship. We can also confirm Dallas McIntosh, who came into this race not locked in, with his finish, he is locked into the chase as well. And where did Michael Norman finish? 16th place. That's good enough for him to clinch a spot as well. The 16 slots are officially full now for this season's chase for the championship. Unbelievable. Incredible. Dylan Poteet for Tweenix Racing. I believe this is Poteet's, I want to say, second chase. I might be incorrect in that. I could actually would like to look real quickly and find out if that is indeed the case. It might actually be his first. Let's see, back in season 1, Dylan Poteet was, good Lord, where the heck was he? Poteet was 31st in the points, so it wasn't in season 1, that's for sure. Season 2, Poteet was 10th. So yes, it was last year that he was in the chase for the championship. So he makes his second straight chase for the championship here in the Hersheys Cup Series. So it is official, folks. The drivers that will battle for the championship, this is the way it's basically going to look. You got 2-time winners. They'll be tied for the number 1 seed. K Tellier, Matt Haas, Tim Walsh, Kyle Mathews, and Michael Norman. And then your 1-time winners that are locked into the chase officially. Cole Baker, Emmanuel Hartnett, J Baskinger, Blaine Keys, Jessica Shelton, James Richardson, Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, Cody Llamas, Dallas McIntosh, and Dylan Poteet. The 1-time winners from this season that failed to make the chase include Benjamin Miles, Sean Gallighan, J Bryant, and John Bunnell. So 4 drivers with a win this season not making the chase for the championship, one of them being our Daytona 500 winner, another one being a driver that up to this point was 2 for 2 in making Hersheys Cup Series chases. Tough break there for those 4 drivers going to victory lane but not being able to close the deal here today at M&M's Super Speedway. Take a look here at your official full finishing results from this race. We're not even going to go through them, as Chris Dodd was out of the race at the end of this thing, camshaft issue for him, so we are guaranteed a brand new Hersheys Cup Series champion because Anthony McCurry, the Season 1 champion, wasn't mathematically able to get himself eligible to be in this chase, and Chris Dodd, obviously some late misfortunes for him, and no trip to victory lane Season 2 locks him out of the Season 3 chase as well. So we are going to have ourselves, as I said, a brand new Hersheys Cup Series champion here in Season 3. But the road to the chase is just beginning. 10 races on tap here for these drivers. 3 elimination races. We will have only 4 drivers left to battle it out at Auto Club for the championship. Who will it be? Your guess is as good as ours. But thank you everybody for tuning in to this race. Thanks for joining us for the regular season. Hope you look forward to the postseason, the playoffs, the chase for the championship in both the Almond Joy and Hersheys Cup Series. Up next, it's your overall point standings, your rookie points, and your chase points. What they will look like heading into our first race next week, which will be at Chicagoland Speedway. Hope you'll tune in for that as you've been watching a production of the SRA. Offline racing at its best. The chase for the Hersheys Cup Series Championship begins. So long from M&M Super Speedway.